She built this home with her hands, waited years for a knock that never came, and when her son finally returned, all that was left was silence. The home she built with love. She sat by the window, holding a cup of tea. The sunlight gently touched her wrinkled hands, the same hands that once braided her son's hair every morning before school. Her eyes wandered toward the silent phone. No call, no message. She smiled faintly, the same smile she wore for years, even when her heart broke a little every day. When her son was little, he said, "Ma, when I grow up, I'll buy you a big house." She laughed and kissed his forehead. She didn't need a house. She already had one, built from love. But promises fade with time, just like photos left under the sun. When her son brought his wife home, she was overjoyed. She prepared sweets, decorated the house, even wore her favorite sari. At first, her daughter-in-law called her Ma with affection, but slowly the tone changed. Polite words replaced warmth. Dinner used to be laughter and noise. Now it was silence and clock ticks. She still cooked their favorite dishes, hoping they'd come home early, but they preferred dining out. Office dinner, they said. Her 46th birthday came quietly. She didn't expect gifts, just a call. The day passed, evening fell. The phone stayed silent. She whispered, "Maybe next year." Her tears sparkled in the candlelight. Days turned to weeks. Her son now lived more in his phone than in conversation. He said, "Ma, you worry too much." She smiled. "That's my job." But he didn't look up. One morning he said, "Ma, we're thinking of moving closer to my office." Her heart skipped. "Will you take me with you?" she asked softly. He hesitated, then said, "It'll be easier if you stay here for now." After they left, silence filled every corner. She dusted furniture, kept rooms clean, cooked too much food for no one. The TV spoke more than people did, and nights felt endless. She started writing letters, not emails, real letters. Every week she wrote one, telling her son about her garden, her health, her loneliness. She never posted them. They stayed in a box marked "Someday." Months later, her neighbor said, "Your son was in town." She froze. He hadn't told her. She smiled anyway. He must have been busy. But when she went to sleep, her pillow was wet again. One evening, her phone rang once and stopped. She called back. No answer. She waited, holding the phone close to her chest. Maybe he called by mistake, but her heart didn't believe that. She whispered, "At least he remembered me for a second." Winter came early that year. Her cough got worse. She hid it during calls, the few that happened. When the neighbor suggested calling her son, she said, "He's busy. I'll get better soon." But the truth was, she was getting weaker every day. She found an old photo album. In one picture, her son's first day of school, holding her hand. She touched the picture, whispering, "You used to hold me so tightly." Tears fell on the photo like rain on glass. She called her son, "Can you come this weekend?" He said, "Ma, maybe next time. We're busy." She smiled and said, "It's okay." After hanging up, she looked at the clock. It was still 7:15, but for her, time had stopped long ago. Her neighbor, Mrs. Doss, visited every few days. She'd bring soup and check on her. One day she said, "You should tell your son how you really feel." But she smiled and replied, "He already knows. He just forgot." She opened the box of unsent letters again. There were 23 now. Each one began with, "My dear son." She picked the latest one and wrote, "If someday you come home, you'll find my words waiting." That night, the lights went out. She sat in candlelight, holding the letters close to her chest. Her reflection in the window looked older, lonelier, but in her eyes, still a trace of love, stubborn and pure. That night, the lights went out. She sat in candlelight, holding the letters close to her chest. Her reflection in the window looked older, lonelier, but in her eyes, still a trace of love, stubborn and pure. Late one night, her son finally called. "Ma, I've been busy. How are you?" She smiled through tears. "Better now that I heard you." They talked for 5 minutes about nothing and everything. She slept peacefully that night. When her son finally came, he found the box. He opened the first letter. "My dear son, I miss you every day." Tears fell on the words she wrote with love. He whispered, "I'm sorry, Ma," but she couldn't hear him anymore. The son opened another letter. "My dear son, if you're reading this, it means I couldn't say goodbye." Her handwriting trembled on the page. "Don't blame yourself. I was happy because I had you once." He pressed the letter to his chest, crying like a child again. He walked around the house. The smell of her cooking still lingered, her slipper still beside the bed. Every object whispered her love. He whispered, "I thought I had time, but time never waits." He found the phone she used. The last dialed number was his. She had called him one last time, but he never answered. He sank to the floor and cried, realizing love doesn't die, only people do. At her small funeral, there were few people, but the air was filled with stories, her laughter, her kindness. He placed the box of letters beside her. "You'll never have to wait for my call again, Ma." The wind carried his words like a prayer. Weeks later, he came back to the house, the same house she built with her hands and heart. He opened the windows, let the sunlight in. He whispered, "Ma, this house still feels like you." And for a moment, he swore he heard her voice say, "Welcome home, my son."